Mira, es que los niños de ahí están hablando. ¿No se estrellará en el vidrio en la carrera? No,
Oh my God, y yo traigo. Ya me están hablando.
Hi everyone, welcome to Tiger Trail. My name is Laura, this is Cindy, and since I'm joining us, his name is Teddy. And today we're going to do a little bit of a training demonstration with Teddy, and then we'll do a little bit of enrichment. Since we have a decent crowd here today, we'll get him moving around the exhibit so everybody will get a good chance to see him. But we'll start with a training demonstration, just to give you guys a sense of how we as keepers interact with the cats every day. Now Teddy is one of the 9 Sumatran Tigers that we have here at the safari park. He's 12 years old. He came to us at the age of 9. Many of the cats that we work with, we get started when they're brand new babies, as in the case of cubs that are born here. So it's always a fun, exciting prospect when we get a cat that comes in as an adult and we kind of get to start working with them at that age. So we work with our cats in a protected contact management setting. So what that means is that we don't go in and share the same space with them after they're 6 months of age. 6 months is the cap of when we're allowed to go in and share the same space with them. So because we work in that protected contact management setting with the adults, we have to rely really heavily on training to be able to take great care of them. So we get them started with basic behaviors, things similar to what you might teach your dog or even your cat at home, which you'll see Cindy doing, things like lie down, sit, touch your nose to the end of this target pole. All the behaviors that we do have a husbandry purpose in mind. So for example, when you saw Teddy rise up with his front feet on the mesh there, you don't do that for show, you do that because it gives us a great opportunity to get a look at his chest, his abdomen, the pads of his feet. We can trim his nails when he's in that position. If we get them used to being up there long enough, which most of the cats are happy to do, we can even listen to their heart when they're in that position. Also the rolling onto his side, if he's able to stay in that position long enough, it's a great position for ultrasounds or x-rays. So everything has a husbandry purpose in mind. Even those very simple behaviors like lie down or touch your nose to the target pole, they lend themselves to the more advanced behaviors we can do with the cats. So all the cats here are trained for voluntary hand injection, blood draw. We can check their blood pressures, we can check their temperatures. Most are trained to open their mouths on command so that we're able to inspect their teeth and their gums, all without the need for anesthesia. That's really the main purpose of the training that we do. He's getting a few things for reinforcement here. So the main component of what Cindy is reinforcing him with is basically the second half of his diet for the day. So the diet, as you can see, it looks kind of like brown hamburger meat. It's actually a horse-based diet. Our nutritionists have found that the horse-based diet is nutritionally more comparable to what these guys would be eating in the wild. In the wild, Sumatran tigers will take down things as big as sandbar deer, also wild boar, monkeys, various things like that. And so this diet is nutritionally complete for them. Teddy right now gets 11 pounds of that food per day. Most of our females get about 4 to a little over 5 pounds a day, and then our new cubs, we call them cubs, but they're already over a year old, they're getting 3 to 3.5 pounds per day. So you'll hear that whistle sound. That whistle is our bridge. That's the way Cindy communicates to Teddy that he's done a good job, and therefore food is on the way, reinforcement is on the way. We also have a couple of other items that you'll see Cindy giving him. Once we finish with the diet component, we've also got some beef heart. Beef heart is a higher ticket item that we tend to use for training. The cats love it, so we cut it up into little strips. We also have some blood in a squirt bottle. We use a lot of liquid reinforcement, especially when we're doing that tactile desensitization with the cats. If you look inside our fridge, you'll always see that we have either blood or goat's milk sitting in there. And it's a wonderful reinforcement for them because they'll basically sit there and lap it up while we do whatever we need to do. It keeps them very entertained for quite a while. And so while you're getting a nice up-close look at Teddy, explain a little bit about these guys. So as I mentioned, he's one of the 9 Sumatran Tigers that we have here. His current weight is about 233 pounds. He's on the leaner side right now, so we just had a diet increase so we can get him back up to his average. He tends to average at about 250, which is a good size for a Sumatran male. He's been pretty active the past few months because he's caught on to the fact that we have an additional breeding male who's come to join us earlier this year. So both of the boys have been pretty active, which is why we're giving them increases in their diet to compensate for that. But Sumatran Tigers, so he's, as I said, he's about 230 pounds. The biggest they really get is about 300. We've had some male tigers here that have been close to the 300 mark. That's a pretty good size for a Sumatran tiger, but Sumatrans are the smallest type of tiger left on the planet. So if you were to compare these guys to the biggest type of tiger, those are called Amur tigers. They used to call them Siberian tigers. Those males are easily twice the size. In some extreme cases, they can even be 3 times the size of a Sumatran male. So they get significantly bigger. And that's why tigers have the reputation of being the biggest of all the big cats. In reality, the average lion tends to be bigger than the average tiger. So for example, our male lion, Izu, he can top out close to 500 pounds, so significantly bigger than our guys here. So in addition to being the smallest type of tiger, they're also the darkest orange in color. Sumatrans tend to have the most stripes, and their stripes tend to be the thickest. And then the males get a neat ruff around their face that kind of looks like a miniature lion's mane. So it kind of sets them apart from some of the other subspecies out there. They are pretty unique because this is the only subspecies of tiger left that comes from an island. Of course, that being the island of Sumatra. Unfortunately, the other 2 subspecies that were island tigers are now extinct. So we're hopeful that that's not gonna be the way of the Sumatran tiger. They are critically endangered. There's believed to be less than 400 of them in the wild right now. We have about 380 in human care throughout the world. So what that means is that the 9 Sumatran tigers that we have here at the park, they represent over 1% of the entire global population of Sumatran tigers. The biggest threat to them right now in their home range is the palm oil crisis. We'd like to send everyone out with that message. Palm oil, if you're not familiar with it, it's a substance that's very similar to vegetable oil, but it's a little bit cheaper and easier to mass produce. And consequently, it's found in almost all the products you find out there. It's found in laundry detergent, shampoo, lipstick, chips, cookies, just about everything imaginable. And what's happening is that a lot of the habitat in Indonesia is being clear-cut to produce these palm oil plantations. So the biggest thing you can do for them on a daily basis when you're out shopping is to make sure that you're using products or purchasing products that only use sustainable palm oil. A couple easy ways to do that now. If you go to the little app store in your phone and type in palm oil, there are some wonderful options that are put out there that make it very easy when you're out shopping to purchase products that are safe for the tigers, rhinos, orangs that live in that region. And of course here, we do everything that we can to support the captive population. So all the breeding and all the movement that goes on is governed by something called the SSP, which stands for Species Survival Plan. So those folks are the experts that know the lineage of all the cats that we have, all the way back to the original founders that we started with. And they make their recommendations as to who should breed with whom, all with the intention of achieving and maintaining the highest degree of genetic diversity possible for as long as possible. So we've been pretty fortunate here at the park that we've had 29 Sumatran tiger cubs born. Teddy came to us from the Fort Wayne Children's Zoo in Indiana. He decided that Joanne was a good match for him, and so those 2 have already produced 4 cubs for us. You guys are here on a great day because you're able to see the whole family. So in the far exhibit with the waterfall, that's Joanne, who's breeding female. She first gave birth to Suka. Suka is in the exhibit behind you. Checking us out right there. Suka was born a single guy, and because of that, Joanne opted not to raise him. So fortunately, Suka wasn't born in the wild where he most likely would have been rejected and not mated. He was born here at the park, and so instead of that outcome, we had a whole team of experts, neonatal experts, that came in to take care of him. He was hand-raised by a bunch of loving moms and dads instead of just one mom, and then came back to us at Tiger Trail when he was 3 months old and weaned from his bottles. In the wild, moms might do that because it means they're breeding him sooner, have a better shot at a full-size litter, which tends to be an average of 3 to 4. And that's exactly what Joanne and Teddy did. They bred again when Suka was only 1 month old, and that resulted in their newest litter of Nelson, Cathy, and Debbie. Nelson is the only male of the litter, and because of that, he's significantly bigger. And as they're already over a year old, he's already being actively pushed out of the family group by Joanne. That's what she would be doing in the wild. So if you'll notice, we have 2 little guys in the exhibit behind you. That's Suka and Nelson, his younger brother. Today is day 20 of their introductions to one another. We've been actively trying to get those 2 boys living together, and so far everything is looking great. So we've been putting them out on exhibit together every day. And then as I mentioned in the far exhibit, you can see Joanne and the 2 female cubs. So Suka will spend his day out here with Nelson, and then at the end of our day, Nelson is going to go back to the family to rejoin them for the evening. So you're in a great position to see all of the 6 of the 9 cats that we have here. The other 3 are in the bedrooms underneath your feet. So in addition to these 3 exhibits you see up here, we have 9 bedrooms all attached through a series of alleys and chutes. So the cats rotate between all the different areas every day, so they're always able to experience a new environment every day, sometimes twice a day. So feel free to explore and then go. Cindy and I will be up here for as long as you guys would like to chat. So if anyone has any questions or would like to chat about tigers or being a zookeeper, please feel free to come on up and chat with us. Thanks so much for being here today.
Ya comió, ya se ¿Una qué? Vamos por lo menos a ver.
Oh my goodness.
O otras loquitas. O otras, ¿es hembra o más?
Aquí voy a necesitar como...
No, yo no le vi. Está mirando, mira. Las hembras se agachan y los machos paran la pata. ¿Ya se fue?
Ya, y de aquí está muy lejos. Mande usted.